I've played a season in every FIFA game from FIFA 14 all the way to FIFA 23, and today it's time for a new era, FC 24. This will be Geo Fyfa's last season before retirement, and also be his third in charge of his beloved Nottingham Forest. This time we're going for glory. Why would I be excited to play as Forest again on FC 24? Well, just take a look at our team. It's so much better than last year. We've got all of their players from last season. Gibbs-White, Awoniyi, Danilo, they all got upgraded. But throw in Sangare, Dominguez, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, and you can see why I'm excited to play this season. This year it's all about strengthening our defence. McKenna and Worrall would both bleed for Forest, and as much as I love them in real life, they're not quite good enough on FIFA. Before we sign anyone though, let's actually finally talk about which record we'll be breaking in our final season. This season we're trying to break the record for the most goals in consecutive games. Awoniyi made it to 8 last month, and we'll need to beat Jamie Vardy's 11 goals from 2016 if we want to get this record. Preseason started before we could even decide on any signings, so we actually played the first 2 games before we even signed anyone.
And we have more live action from the pre-season second group stage. It's Rayo Vallecano and they face Nottingham Forest.
Personally, I'm loving FC 24. The more I learn about how to defend, the better the game feels against both the AI and also online. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. But anyway, after pre-season ended, we splurged most of our £30 million budget on Levi Colwill. If you don't know, his own goal was the one that got Forest promoted in the playoff final 2 years ago, and I couldn't believe how low his release clause was. For the whole season, we're also going to be spamming as much development into Murillo and Omar Bamidele as possible as well, just to make sure that we have some backups. Anyway, pre-season is now over, we've got our signings, it's time to start the Premier League season.
Premier League season only moments away, but which team will stamp their authority today? We will soon find out.
So yeah, our first game of the season was indeed against Arsenal. This was always going to be a challenge. Of course, Arsenal runners-up in the league last year. But have a look at this from Dominguez. We brought him in for Ryan Yates because he has a bit more technical ability. And this shot proved exactly why we've picked him. Who knows, maybe Arteta will even swap his goalkeepers at half-time. But we kept pressing onwards. Elanga with the trickery found Awoniyi, and that could easily have been 2-0. We tried to defend our lead, and Odegaard would find Trossard, and his chip pass would find Gabriel Jesus, who would just about beat the on-rushing Matt Turner, of course a former Arsenal player. We had a couple more minutes left in the game. Really, the referee should have blown his whistle, but Hudson-Odoi's shot was palmed out for a corner. Could we do it from this last corner? Well, Gibbs-White would get the ball in, we would win the header, we would win the rebound, but the ball wouldn't end up in the net. That meant 1 game and 1 point. This year we're going for a top half finish in the Premier League and trying to get to a final at least in one of the cups. How can Forest hope to get to a cup final, you might ask? Well, last year we made the League Cup semi-final, and we're more than happy to rest players in the league just to focus on the cups. Hey, look at this, the new Premier League scoreboards, that's pretty nice, but shame they don't actually look anything like the ones that are on TV. Anyway, we've now played 2 Premier League games, so it's time for the League Cup to actually admit us in. The first round was pretty simple, our reserves basically took the win by themselves. The second round was also quite easy as well, so we're now just 5 wins away from the final. Okay, back to the league. This now brings us to October, and Awoniyi is on 3 goals in 3 games. This is actually our best run of the season. We're trying to score 11 goals, but with who? Elanga, that's right, Awoniyi's run would actually end in this game, and Elanga would only be starting his. The streak started right here, Elanga beating the Brentford goalkeeper Flecken with a nice finish into the bottom corner, of course celebrating with his trademark griddy. It wouldn't be the only goal we scored against Brentford though, Awoniyi would also score, and it was quite an important game against a mid-table rival. We got through one-on-one here with Elanga, and there's no way we're missing a chance like that. Straight into the top corner, and there's nothing Sam Johnson can do. Of course, the record we're going for, it doesn't really matter how many you score in one game, as long as you get at least 1. If you're wondering why all of a sudden Elanga became a goal-scoring legend, it's because we made these changes to his position, so definitely give them a go if you have FC 24. You might have noticed throughout this video, I did have a bit of an obsession with long shots with this team. That was a good one there from Callum Hudson-Odoi that did nearly find the back of the net. It was actually quite tough for us to get Elanga in behind in this game. We got Gibbs-White in behind right here, one-on-one with the Luton Town goalkeeper, and he would find the net, thankfully, as you would expect. But we needed Gibbs-White to be the creator in this next chance. A very tired Elanga just about having enough pace and strength to hold off Anderson before before chipping it over Tim Krul. Elanga had 3 goals in 3 games and 2 of them were the match winners. There was only one man in the league on a longer streak and we were playing him in this next match. Mohamed Salah and his team got off to a great start. A red card there for a tackle that maybe deserved a yellow. I think red was a little bit harsh on Montiel. Niakite nearly got a second one before Luis Diaz would find Hakimi and his header found an open net. So we were already 1-0 down and down to 10 men. I don't think we're going to win this match, but we still had a chance to keep this streak alive. Look at Awoniyi's determination and physicality there, bursting through the Liverpool defence. He found Elanga, basically an open net twice, and somehow we haven't found the net. Can we get the cross in here? Origi misses Awoniyi, but of course that man there, Elanga, is there to score another goal. 70 minutes in, and we just had to hold on now for another 20. There was of course a constant stream of attacks from Liverpool. Even our clearances were getting charged down, but somehow we did hold on for the single point. A goal in the cup here doesn't actually count towards the record, but we're still going to play Elanga and go full strength. Who knows, Manchester United might pick a weaker team while we've got a full strength one out. And in fact they did, they had Hannibal playing in midfield, but he had this first chance. We were just absolutely dominated aerially right there. Højlund though passing it across, and it's an easy tap in for Anthony. Probably one of the most unlikable players on FIFA and in real life. And he's just scored against us. We had this chance though, Elanga, the other right winger that used to play for Manchester United. Good chance there. And Origi would get a chance as well to equalise it. We only had 2 real early shots in the game, and that was both of them. Origi, of course, not very well liked at Old Trafford. Hudson-Odoi would be sprinting down the wing, and I just can't even describe what happens there. I know Onana's not the highly rated goalkeeper he used to be, but that is still an amazing finish from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Tavares made a mistake there, passing it to Bruno Fernandes, and when Rashford's through one-on-one, there's absolutely nothing Turner can do. Hudson-Odoi, I'm not sure why he's playing at right back for us right there, but he takes out Højlund and for some reason gets a red card. I don't think that was violent conduct, so I don't think it should have actually been a red card. But now we're down to 10 men and losing 3-2 to Manchester United. Well, actually, as the ball comes across, make that 4-2 because it's another brilliant finish from Manchester United. Good turn there from Højlund makes it 5-2, and thankfully, this game is over. We did get a good award here though, with Elanga being nominated for Player of the Month, and there's my first Ballon d'Or winner in any of the FIFA 24 career modes. This game against Aston Villa was a real chance for Elanga to get another goal. He was really close there. If it was a worse keeper than Martinez, he might have scored, but unfortunately, he might have jarred his knee. I'm not sure what actually happened there. We already had one injury in the game, and that was our second one already. So Elanga's run will end on 4 goals in 4 games. Danilo will go in at right wing, but he doesn't really have the same presence as someone like Elanga. He's not as fast, his finishing's definitely not as good. And you can really tell that we could have used Elanga up front, as we did end up losing this match. So despite that great run there from Elanga, we were now out of the cup in the 4th round, and that meant everything was focused on the FA Cup. Forest are 2 times FA Cup winners, so let's make it 3 and try and qualify for Europe. Of course, our first game is at the start of January, so it gives us a good chance to give some new players a debut. I've not actually been that impressed with Nuno Tavares, so Fabiano Parisi joins from Fiorentina, and he played in these first 2 games in the FA Cup. In the 3rd round we beat Norwich, in the 4th round we beat Swansea, and in the 5th round we had an all Premier League tie against Luton Town. It wasn't the most difficult match, and this is the part of the video hopefully you'll notice that I start getting a little bit better at actually playing the game. I still can't defend at all, but our passing moves get a little bit longer, our shooting gets more accurate, and I start having a lot more fun with the game. So we're through into the 6th round, and we're now just 4 wins away from playing in Europe next year. It's another all Premier League clash, and Aston Villa are the first team we've actually faced in this competition that are better than us. We have a very contrasting set of styles here. They like to sort of dribble into the box and try and pass it across for cutbacks. They do a lot of body feints and stuff trying to win penalties, whereas we are full counter-attack in this game. They had the first chance there, good save from Turner. The ball would eventually find its way to Morgan Gibbs-White. He would manage to outpace Diego Carlos, even though I think he is actually slower on this year's game. He'd cut inside, and his finish is a very Morgan Gibbs-White kind of finish. If you're a Forest fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Leon Bailey would have their chance, and it's another brilliant save, somehow palmed into the floor, and they'll bounce over the goal. We had the next chance. Awoniyi bursting through. He's got Danilo out wide, but he can't find him. We tried to sweat it across, but unfortunately we ended up with egg on our face. They knew exactly how to sweat it across though, and this is where things started getting bad. Their players started going down super easily. They were getting free kicks for things like that. I think Sangare's won the ball, but they ended up with a free kick out of it. They were playing in a very continental style of football. Every time they get the ball, they would do one pass across our goal, and there was nothing we could do about it. Moussa Diaby has this great play styles that really makes him have a huge amount of acceleration. Maybe when I'm slightly better at the game, I would have been able to defend against it, but at this point in the game, I had absolutely no chance of stopping him. So if you are interested in doing a save with a nice player, make sure you check out Moussa Diaby. That was basically our best chance right there. Awoniyi just smashing it at the goal, and Diaby would get his hat-trick, 3 shots, 3 goals. There's nothing Turner really could do about that. We hit the crossbar right at the end here with Awoniyi, but it wouldn't have mattered in the end. We still would have ended up losing 4-1. So now we're out of the FA Cup, the League Cup, and we're not doing too well in the Premier League either. While I show some highlights of the last few games, I would just like to say thank you so much for all the support on this series. When I decided to do this back in July, I didn't think it would get anywhere near this kind of support, and all the comments, all the views, all the likes, every subscription from it. I really do appreciate it. So thank you for checking out the mega career. I promise I'll do another one probably next year, next summer when FIFA 25 is coming out. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's the end of our season as well. Look where we finished in the table. We probably could have done better. We weren't going to get relegated at any point, and our manager rating was actually pretty low, so we weren't too far off getting fired. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy FC24 if you decide to buy it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Cheers and goodbye.